be better to move the treatment closer to the source of the sewage. But most people don't want a sewage plant in their neighborhood, unless perhaps it looked like this.
The beauty of it is that it doesn't stink and it's pretty.
This is what the next generation of plants might look like. Sewage you could be proud of. More a botanical garden than a sewage plant, it's the living machine, the brainchild of John Todd.
The reason why it's called a living machine is that the vast majority of the parts that make up the machine are alive. And you've got from microscopic bacteria that you can't see, all the way to bald cypress, fish, and clams. So the full panoply of life is represented in a living machine. This is the first tank. The raw screen of sewage enters here. You notice how the plants are racked up to be off the surface to help protect their roots from the high-strength waste at the early phase.
80,000 gallons per day of raw sewage are drawn from the South Burlington treatment intake. That's the waste from about 400, a large neighborhood. The wastewater flows through a series of concrete tanks, 14 feet deep, covered with plants and filled with bacteria, snails, clams, and fish that actually live off the waste.
Here you have a community made up of cyanobacteria, blueberry, and algae. And down here, where the light is less intense, you have a mixture of algae with the microbial communities. And then grazing on these, as you can see, are the snail communities. They're vastly complex, and they really do act to trap particles that are in water and degrade them.
According to EA, the living machine can clean wastewater just as well as conventional systems. But a key to this design is that it makes sewage treatment pleasant, accessible, and more likely to be found anywhere and everywhere. Neighborhoods, apartment complexes, and commercial and industrial areas in downtown.
So this is the last phase, the last cell in the roughly 2-day cycle. So you can see that it's very clean. The journey is done. It's good quality water. One thing in here, that's a tiny little animal swimming around in the water. See it? Apart from that, there's nothing. Beautifully treated water. And this is where the water leaves the building and starts at Lake Champlain. I think we're going to see an absolute transformation in how we see waste treated in the next 20 years. We're talking an industrial ecology here that starts with waste, but where it ends, nobody knows yet. All we know is a lot of good things can happen.